Welcome back YouTube, I have Ahmed again from In-Depth Tech Reviews, and finally the Pixel 4a is here. Sorry for taking so long to make this review, but I'm blaming Google for not being available where I live, and I hope this will change soon. Putting that aside, let's see how good is the Pixel 4a. Before talking about the Pixel 4a specifically, there are three things that you get for granted when you purchase a Google phone: stock Android experience, day one software updates, and the amazing camera, which are all covered in the Pixel 4a. So this is mainly a hardware review rather than anything else. So let's start with the design and build quality. Once I touched the device, I really didn't expect that feeling. The material on the back feels so good in hand. It feels almost the same as the Pixel 3 XL, which is something I really love because you won't see any fingerprints and it gives you a nice grip. The size of the phone was the second thing that grabbed my attention. I've been using big phones for a while because I love big screens, and I kind of forgot how small phones feel in hand. And trust me, when you hold this phone, your hands will appreciate it. Because the size is right, you won't have a hard time reaching the corners or stressing your hands with the heavy weight. The back of the phone also feels very solid, so let's compare that to the Pixel 4 XL and the Pixel 3 XL. The Pixel 3 XL and the 4a feel very sturdy and the knocking sound is full, while the Pixel 4 XL is the worst, giving that hollow sound. When it comes to the buttons, they are also an improvement over the Pixel 4. Look at how the Pixel 4a buttons are solid and sticking into place, similar to the Pixel 3 XL, while in the Pixel 4 XL they are wobbling a little bit. It seems like Google is learning from the previous mistakes. You also have the regular fingerprint sensor on the back, which is kinda hard to feel with your finger at first, but after a couple of times you will get used to it. The 4a has a hole punch display, and this is the first time we see it in a Google phone, which is a step in the right direction. It has very small bezels with 83.3% screen-to-body ratio, and this is the highest screen-to-body ratio in any Google phone to date. So when it comes to the design and build quality, the Pixel 4a is definitely a win. Now let's move on to the display quality. This is a 5.8 inches OLED panel with a resolution of 2340 by 1080, covered with Gorilla Glass 3. Despite the 1080p resolution, this is the highest quality display panel Google ever used in a phone. I know this is a $350 phone, but let me explain why. Here is a sunlight readability test. I have the Pixel 4 XL, the Pixel 3 XL, and the Pixel 4a in direct sunlight. The weather is very sunny, the temperature is 42 degrees Celsius, and the brightness is all the way up. And look at this, the Pixel 4a display really stands out. The text is very clear and pops out, the colors are vibrant, and the brightness is so high. I'm really shocked with the results because I paid $1,000 for the other two phones and the Pixel 4a crushed them with a $350 price tag. Let's take another look indoors. All of them are set to the same color profile, which is adaptive, and they are on the maximum brightness. The Pixel 3 XL is the least vibrant with the lowest brightness. The Pixel 4 XL and the 4a look almost identical. Bear in mind that the Pixel 4 XL has a higher resolution and the ambient EQ feature. But this didn't stop the Pixel 4a from producing an image quality that can easily compete with the flagship version. So imagine if Google used the same panel with a higher resolution, 90 Hz refresh rate, and the ambient EQ. That makes me very excited to see the Pixel 5 display. The Pixel 4a display has the warmest white balance compared to the other two Pixels. It depends on your personal preference which one you like more, but for me the warmer white balance improves the look of the text and makes it pop out. The scrolling is very smooth and the touch sensitivity is very good too. There is only one downside. I see a pink hue when tilting the display. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera, but in reality, it's definitely there. So overall, the display exceeded my expectations, and I'm sure you will love it when you see it in person. Now let's talk about the sound. The Pixel 4a has stereo speakers, and I can say the sound is loud enough, but the audio quality is average. It's a bit tinny and lacks bass. So let's compare it to the other two phones. The Pixel 4 XL was the loudest with the best sound quality and the highest bass. The 4A sound had no distortion but was lacking behind in bass and volume. And finally, the Pixel 3 XL sound was distorted but produced more bass and a higher volume than the Pixel 4a. Now let's talk about the performance. The Pixel 4a has a Snapdragon 730G, 6GB of RAM, and 128GB of UFS 2.1 storage. A lot of people were concerned about the performance of the Pixel 4a because of the low-end processor, and I felt the same for the first couple of days. But after that, the performance improved a lot in the third day. And I don't see any issues or lag while using the phone, except in one game, which is Asphalt 9. So now let's do a quick performance test, and I'm gonna open a couple of apps to show you how they work on the Pixel 4a. Here I don't have any apps running in the background, so the app will load from scratch. Let's try Facebook, for example, and see how good is the scrolling. So as you see, there is no lag whatsoever while scrolling. I don't see any lag. I'm not sure if you see any, but for me, in reality, I don't see anything. Also, swapping between tabs works really well. No issues here. Let's try also Instagram. So Instagram scrolling is very smooth as well. Let's try YouTube. Here is YouTube. Also Google Maps. The bench to zoom is very smooth as well. So I think the Pixel 4a won't let you down when it comes to apps performance. So let's check it with the games. When it comes to gaming, I downloaded few heavy games to see how good is the Pixel 4a in playing games, and I found Asphalt 9 is the only game that sometimes lag on the Pixel 4a, but it doesn't happen in each and every race. It happens in some cases, but sometimes the race plays really well. So you might see every few seconds a small lag taking place, but that's pretty much it. The game is still playable on the Pixel 4a. Here is Modern Combat 5. It's also very playable and no lag whatsoever. Need for Speed No Limits. It also works really well on the Pixel 4a. So when it comes to gaming, I think the Pixel 4a did really well here, and you won't have issues in this area. So now let's move on to the battery life. So here's my usage throughout the day. I got 6 hours and 29 minutes of screen on time so far, and I still have 14% remaining. So let me show you the apps I used. I used Waze for 2 hours 19 minutes, YouTube for 2 hours and 28 minutes, Pixel Launcher for 46 minutes, a Zoom meeting for 20 minutes, some light gaming, YouTube music, and so on. Keep in mind that the phone was on dark theme the whole day, and I turned off the always on display as well. Also, I used the phone to make this review, and most of the time the display was on the maximum brightness. So I think you might get better results if you are using it normally with the adaptive brightness turned on. Let me also show you the results when you are using the light theme and the always on display together. So here I got 6 hours and 31 minutes, and I still have 8% battery remaining. The apps I used, also YouTube for 3 hours and 17 minutes, YouTube Music for 2 hours and 13 minutes, WhatsApp for 1 hour and 23 minutes. And the ambient display took 7% when used for 6 hours and 10 minutes. So I think the battery life of the Pixel 4a is very good because I managed to get 6 hours and 30 minutes of screen on time while using light theme and the always on display. Using the dark theme and the turning off the always on display can give you at least 7.5 hours of screen on time on a single charge, which is more than enough to get you throughout the day. Now the question is, what are the things that you won't get with the Pixel 4a and how important they are in your day-to-day usage? There is no squeeze feature, no wireless charging, no telephoto or wide-angle lens, no 90 or 120 Hz refresh rate. When you look at the list, you will see all the missing features are secondary features. They are nice to have, but you can definitely live without them. And these missing features saved you a lot of money, but you still get the stuff that really matters. A modern design, amazing display, amazing camera, very good battery life, stock Android, day one software updates, 18-watt fast charging, and a headphone jack. In my opinion, you will never go wrong with the Pixel 4a. I can confidently recommend this phone for anyone who's looking for the best Android experience with an affordable price tag. So that's pretty much it for today. That was my review for the Pixel 4a. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think? Would you go for the Pixel 4a, or you think there are better options out there? So I hope you like my video, and if you do, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.